So we were at this portal
I was showing
thing.
you this guy. So he had this transparent, which I would say is like, transparent cube.
This is what he described?
Probably could have a sphere in
Yes.
it. Yeah, so he said he described that showing up, and a 6-foot-tall figure came out and
In a
didn't
black
tell him
jumpsuit.
to come there, but said telepathically, "Come with me." He got in it, and there he saw his targeted elk frozen in beams of light, alongside 5 figures.
Human-like figures that seemed more spectral than alive, stiff, unblinking, like passengers in stasis.
And then the ship shifted and
Right.
took him 163,000 light years away, and he ended up on a tower on an alien planet where they fixed all of his ailments.
A tower on an alien planet under a violet sky.
Yeah. And then they said, like, you're not suitable. We can't use you. Sorry. we're gonna
Because
send
of
you
his,
back."
because he's got no jizz.
And then he was found miles away, sort of just like how Travis Walt was found.
Whoa. Hypnosis sessions later revealed more. What's his name? Auso? Ausos?
Oh, that's the, in quotes, alien. That would be the entity.
Auso 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind were experimenting on humans and animals, possibly for genetic or dimensional purposes. Carl's truck was found miles away in impassable terrain, embedded in mud, with him inside, babbling about lights and voices. In impassable terrain.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
there's a bunch of,
So his truck was just placed in a place where it couldn't get to.
Correct.
There's a bunch of pictures that I don't know if I'm imagining he drew some of these because in that video.
No, bro, those are photos.
No, so
That's
he
it.
holds up this photo, so I think he drew this.
Right.
So he's an older man and drew what he remembered. So a little bit of leeway.
Oh,
in
so
art,
he
but
drew the one there, and
Yeah.
then someone did an artist recreation. Oh, look at that weird.
like weird arm, like a knife for an arm or something.
So he,
pointy arm, I
he said he thought that those were almost robotic.
Oh, interesting. Well, that kind of makes sense, right? That
picture of the
eventually
bullet.
being, this is the photos of the bullet. It kind of makes sense that eventually we would realize, like, why would we travel places where we could just make like an artificial person to do it and report back to us everything? Why risk a human's life?
100%.
Which is what
Yeah.
we're about to do. That's what Elon's doing to the moon. He's going to send the robots up to make the stuff on the moon. Way easier than sending people.
Of course.
You don't need air. They don't need air.
That makes sense why he's canceling the Model S, and the X.
Get to work.
Yeah, get those Optimus rope because he's transformed some of his factories. They've stopped the Model S and the Model X, and they're using it to make these Optimus robots instead. That factory, and then these robots are gonna fly to the moon.
If we had that idea, no one else,
Of course.
no one else has had that same thought.
Yeah, of course, it makes sense. So he got a sense that this was a robot.
Yes.
A lot of people have also said that about the Greys, that they get the sense that they're not really an actual physical, or a biological organism, that there's some sort of a hybrid thing or some sort of a whatever.
The thing that got me about that is that if it's robotic, but it still has the ability to mind speak, that is really advanced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to figure out what consciousness is, right? And what communication is. And if there's something you could tune in, you could have a robot that could speak out loud. So why can't you have a robot that transmits? Why couldn't, with sufficient enough technology, it kind of makes sense that you would have something that has the ability to transmit into your mind. So do you think when you're studying all these different people missing, and do you try to put a percentage on how many of these people you think just got eaten by bears and how many of these people you think are having these kind of experiences?
So if there's any evidence of animal predation, I don't even work with them. I just push them out. They
Right.
won't even look at the case.
You're only looking at the cases that are super weird.
that fit that. No animals can track. Canines can't track.
Right.
They bring in a professional tracker. They can't track. There's a weather issue in relationship to the disappearance. Sometimes the people are found next to water or amongst a boulder field. Now, there's another one, Joe. Boulder fields. Now, if you think about where's the most boulders and granite, it's Yosemite Valley. And what goes through the middle of Yosemite Valley? Water, the Merced River. And that area specifically, that's a hard valley to get lost in. But yet, how do these people get lost? And we're not talking about people going into the backcountry. We're talking about people getting lost in Yosemite Valley that disappear and aren't found. And there's a couple of cases, well, there's probably 10 cases that are just absolutely bizarre. There's a case that was investigated by Yosemite investigators back 40 years ago as a woman came out and they found her body so far away from a cliff that they said their words, she was launched. So it's like if you jumped or you fell, you could only go so far from the cliff.
Right.
She was found too far from the cliff, and they called it launched, but they couldn't understand how she got that far.
Not possible with a gust of wind?
No.
How far was she?
That's all that was their wording.
That she had to have been launched.
Right. And Norm, I've never seen that wording before in any Park Service report. They're usually very conservative in the way they discuss things.
And so this aligns with this idea that they get dropped.
Correct.
That's very disturbing that aliens would do that to us, just drop us. Like, I would think that if they're going to abduct you, hey, place me back in my bed. Be nice.
So pay attention when the next time you see a story about somebody being abducted. A lot of times they're dropped in their bed. They're not placed. They're dropped.
How many of these people that go missing like this under weird circumstances die versus just disappear forever?
I would say that it's probably 40%, 50% are never found. I would say that maybe half of that half that's left, 25-25, split between alive and dead. But you find out a lot more about the case if you get the body back, because the body sometimes will show things that doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of times the person will disappear and it's an 80-degree day. We talk about that point of separation. Mm-hmm. You going this way, I'm going to the right, and 100 yards from where I last saw you, there's a pile of clothes there. And you're thinking, well, it's 80 degrees out. Why is there a pile of clothes? His underwear, his socks, his shoes, everything. Pile right there. He's never found. Where'd he go? Why would he take all of his clothes off? People would say, well, you know, it's hypothermia and there's a condition where you take all your clothes off.
Not in 80-degree weather.
Not in 80-degree weather, not that fast. It doesn't happen. And so missing clothing, missing shoes are part of this that don't make any sense. If you're in the woods, you're on a trail, you're not going to take your shoes off.
It's all very weird. Does anybody ever have an experience where they go and they get abducted and then they ask what happens to some of these people? How many people do you do this to?
It must have happened, but I don't know if they've ever gotten a response from it.
Has anybody ever asked how many people do you abduct? How many people have you taken like this?
I'm sure they've asked, but I'm not sure that they would have gotten an answer.
Huh.
And then you know that there's a theory out there that there's more than one type or one group taking people.
Yeah. Well, this is the Fox News thing. See if you could find that Fox News report, because it's kind of wacky. Because watching it on Fox News, you're like, is Fox News all of a sudden coast to coast with Art Bell? Like, what the hell has happened? Because they were talking about the reptilians and the Nordics, the Greys. Fox News. TV. Like regular TV. Like, what is going on here? Is that nonsense? Are they being fed nonsense? Or is this disclosure? And are they slow trickling this out to us to get regular folks like boomers, get them accustomed to this idea of there are entities out there?
What if they're just acclimating you to the reality of our world? And what if the truth is that there's people around you that are aliens and you don't even know it?
I think Elon's a fucking alien. It's the only thing that makes sense. I met a few aliens, definitely. Joey Diaz might be an alien. There's a few people that I've met that I'm like, you're not real. There's no way you're real. But Elon's the top of my list. Like, he doesn't even make sense. Like, I've met a lot of people that are smarter than me. I'm not the smartest guy.